Do the math. You work for 50 or 60 years. You spend 2 or 3 years in a position. The half-life of skills are dropping. We should all be planning on 12 or 14 or 15 chapters in our careers. One of the biggest shifts that we are all living through right now is literally the redefinition and the reframing of careers. 21st century careers are simply different than 20th century careers. Our careers are longer because our lives are longer, right? We are recruiting people into the workforce today in 2021 and 2022 who are in their early 20s. Many of these people can expect to live to be 100. That's the year 2100, right? And so the question in front of us is, how do we prepare ourselves and our organizations for 100-year lives that will touch the year 2100? How do we create career models that recognize that many of us will be working for 50 or 60 years? That the average time in a job, if you will, may be 2 or 3 years. That the half-life of a technical domain skill is increasingly dropping. It used to be 5 years. Now, if it's a computer language or a specific technical skill, it only may be relevant for 2 or 3 years. So as one of my colleagues said last year, do the math. You work for 50 or 60 years. You spend 2 or 3 years in a position. The half-life of skills are dropping. We should all be planning on 12 or 14 or 15 chapters in our careers, right? Careers are different today than they were a couple of decades ago. What's really fascinating and relevant about the talent marketplace is the talent marketplace, in contrast to the sort of traditional employee life cycle, right, is built around the idea that people are looking for constant change and growth in their careers, right? It's built around the idea that people are looking for traditional career paths and non-traditional career paths, but what they're really looking for is their career path in the organization, right? And one of the really interesting dynamics of the talent marketplace is that we have brought together career aspirations, the requirements of the business, with jobs, with gigs, with projects, with mentors, with access to networks, which are all the components that we're all trying to navigate and orchestrate in order to live these careers. Sometimes I call it the long and winding road of careers of the 21st century. So there's a tremendous fit between what a 21st century career looks like. Multiple chapters of reinvention is how I would define a 21st century career. And what we are designing talent marketplaces to do, to give us choice, to democratize the opportunities in the workplace, and to identify the great skills and capabilities that we have across our enterprise.